What's up going on, guys? I'm back. Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys how I actually caught a very nice almost 2R. Okay, almost 2.5% of the day. So today, pretty nice trade of the day. So coming to the markets here, okay, I actually caught this first move right here, initial move right here, because what we do, I saw this, we had a series of this internal low inside this fair value gap here, which is a nice draw on liquidity. And I saw that how we have actually this LRL right here, and very nice, all these LRL, these datas, all this liquidity here. So when we sweep this low, and then we sweep all these internal low inside this fair value gap here, right? To me, my initial reaction with this was a very V-shaped formation here. The only downside to this trade was that, it was just not an obvious fair value gap. However, if you guys know, you don't trade based on IVGs, you trade based on liquidity. We set this low right here inside of this we set this low here, liquidity. Next we have this, all this liquidity as well. So we bounced off this fair value gap. In hindsight, we don't know whether this will bounce, but with this momentum here pushed, I took this trade here, and then I let this rip, I let this pushed, and my break even was essentially here. This was a 1 hour trade. Reason being is because this was not very obvious, so that's why I didn't want it, and additionally because we had this additional fair value gap right here. So once that happened, I actually moved off to break even and it hit TP1 right there. So this was a trade. This was the first trade that I actually took. Next trade was that I actually saw this, that we had this 2 minutes fair value gap here, bearish fair value gap here. So I was like, okay, with this momentum here, maybe we can get an inversion, and we get an inversion right here. So we got the inversion right there. I still think that this LRL is still gonna get ran. Do I know it? Do I know is it gonna get ran now? I don't know. But however, with this of the very strong draw, if this momentum here, I wouldn't mind pushing higher. So I actually did. Okay, so I came back up. However, when the time I wanted to enter, this candlestick was just way too high, so I actually waited for a retracement. We came back into this retracement here. So this technique, so we came back into this retracement here. I was like, okay, this is a nice retracement here. So what I did was I actually entered in a small position here. You guys can see I actually entered in here. Okay, so I entered in there on a small position here. My stop loss was essentially below of this exception gap, which is this 2-minute gap right here. Okay, so I was entering here. I saw this 1-minute mini fair value gap here. So this was a confirmation setup that we get. If we inverse back this to the upside here, I sort of have a high conviction that we are going to get run this LRL here all the way to this high here. Okay, so I didn't call this trade. Okay, so I actually didn't call this on my tick. I wasn't on live on my Discord. Okay, you guys can check out my Discord, and you guys can definitely follow me on my Telegram as well. Links are in the description. However, I'm not active on Telegram. I'm more active on my Discord server. So right now, I waited for this inversion. We actually got an inversion right there. I entered in the long. Okay, break even at this eternal high. Came back up, and bang, smack first. Oh, no, next candlestick. Okay, smack my first TP right there. So first TP hit, this trade on first TP hit. This was the first trade which I actually took on this. This is another 1 hour trade. This bottom one was just letting it run all the way to this high here. So 2R right there caught. This technically is a 1.5%, maybe 1.5 or 1.5 RR. However, for me, I just prefer this high, so that's why I targeted. Okay, so I slightly played out. We chopped a bit because of market open there, and you guys can see we sadly, because of market open, we didn't push. I didn't get the push that I wanted, and we actually sort of dumped. So this was a break-even trade. So right now this was a 2 hour trade here, and we just continue dumping here, as you guys can see. So we dumped right there, and we still came back down into this fair value gap right here. So in my personal opinion, I was like, okay, we have a 930 wick, which is right here, which is a very good draw of liquidity. Okay, and additionally with this liquidity at the high right here, so a lot of liquidity stacking right there. To me, I felt that, with so many liquidity at the highs here, we should, okay, we technically, have a higher chance of us going higher there, which I personally think that that would be the most probable setup. So I was still waiting for a setup there. I didn't take any trades here. I'm still being patient here. And then we dumped right there. We swept this low here. At the same time, ES actually made a SMT right here, which you guys can see. We have a SMT over here. Okay, we have SMT here. So with the SMT there, I still think that we still might go higher. So I was waiting for this inversion here. At this point, we were inside of this 5 minutes fair value gap here. So do we truly know if we're going to invest back here? Not yet. However, I was waiting. I still was waiting. I caught this on my Discord, guys. You guys, like I said, I caught this on my signal bot alerts. Okay, I did take this on my live account play. So I did call this. I said that and I called it that this looks good, but we need a death candle, you know, like a very very strong momentum candlestick, and you know that there's buying, and boom, right there, I got in a long trade, okay, and bang, first I went break even, and boom, okay. So this was a 1 hour trade because essentially I already caught 2R here, so I'm not going to try to be greedy here, and then bam, 3 hour trade right there. I caught this was my initial target right there. So I actually took this on both. I have two accounts on this running, so and boom, baby. So we hit there, and then we immediately dump right there. So awesome trade right there today, and yeah, and the rest was just history. So very very nice trade today. Caught very very awesome trades. 3R plays for the day. That is how I actually look at the market and how I actually see the market. You know, how I actually, or in hindsight, do we truly know that if this was going to inverse, are we going to have a liquidity sweep? And you guys can see that based on my trading style, what I actually see is not based on IFVGs. IFVGs are confirmation setup, and the main probability, or the main sort of the main dealer would be, you know, understanding where the liquidity is and how I trade based off liquidity. So hope you guys enjoy yourself. Hope you guys definitely learn something. You guys can always check out my Discord channel. It's totally free. I try to go live there almost every single day during New York session. So yeah, hope you guys learn something. Hope you guys enjoy yourself. Today was a nice 3 hour play. Very very simple. Very very easy trades. Just sadly this wasn't, this didn't play out as well. But we did hit the target. We did hit that target, which is, I think we hit it now. Yeah. So we did hit that target right there, and yeah, eventually just, one thing you learn about the market is that we as traders, we cannot predict where the market is going to go. We know that this market is going to go here. However, do we know that it's going to go here now? You get here now? We don't know. All we as traders, we have to just react and based on what we see, and trade based on what we know as well. Don't predict that the market is going to go here. We react and we adjust accordingly. That's the rule of how you improve as a trader, and that's what I've learned as well. Here you guys can see 100% flying, and if you guys can look, we swept this 15 minutes inside of this fair value gap, and we are flying right now. So very very understanding the draw on liquidity is the key here, guys. Look at this, we swept this and we immediately just started flying here. That's the key to understanding the draw on liquidity. So hope you guys enjoy yourself, hope you guys learn something, and drop a comment you guys want to know something. Click the link in the description to follow my Discord channel. Everything is 100% completely free, and I drop you know tons of discount trade this kind of this trading tips, tricks. I'm not perfect, however I'm always trying to be better every single day, and so should you. Okay, and hope you guys enjoy yourself, and peace.